you notice the patterns of the pain in your past. The things that broke you, they also awoke you to the questions you needed.
It was amazing. People have said to me, was it everything you wanted? I said, and more. And one of my friends says, well, what was the takeaway? I said, forgiveness. What I wanted was to get some of my joy back. And I wanted some balance in my life. And yes, I have gotten my joy back.
When we can just feel like we are in, right? Like love is all around us, and we're just like cradled in, like our earth womb is just love itself. Like that's when we're in love. And that's what I felt like everybody co-created. We all created that together when we were at the retreat. And I sure as heck want to walk around in that all the time.
It's been interesting getting back. I've been very, very gentle with myself this week. I've really been taking it easy. No media as well. I've really limited my cell phone use. I haven't looked at the news. I just feel like my circuitry is really trying to process all the new experiences and, being that deep in nature, when you just really get in touch with your own inner nature. And Shannon, it was like depth psychology, deep dive, that's some of the deepest work I've done. My integration process and my processing, has just been happening. That being that deep in nature and feeling your inner nature, your own wild inner nature, we're all part of nature, and feeling that, it's like, oh my gosh, that connection with yourself is very true and palpable. So it's just this, freedom that I had not experienced before. So that was pretty cool.
I came home and I told my friends, I really don't want to talk about this a lot. And I really just want this to be mine. Thank all of you for being part of my experience. I just fell in love with everybody.
So I think I kind of learned, pay attention really to what's around. And in my case, the silence made me realize I need to talk more, connect with more people, and not be by myself and silent all the time. It just made me feel, connected, and everybody was so peaceful, and I don't know, I just still feel that. I still feel that. It's still wore on me.
I think when I think of being in silence, a lot of the times when I'm practicing what I believe is silence, it is that connection to myself. That I have been practicing, in which I can proudly say I know when I'm connected. For years, I've been praying for ways to articulate my words in a way for other people to get me. And that is something I learned on this trip. And I was able to bring it back here in a way of accepting that for myself and not feeling the need for other people to understand or accept me. That was huge for me. And the very last day, even after all you guys left, that's when it hit me. And that's when I started to do the work for it and noticing my progression.
One of the, my favorite parts of the experience was probably when they did this. It was like a meditative dance, and we all did it with our eyes closed, and we just got to fall into a dance. And dancing isn't something that I do in my everyday life, so that was very powerful. Another piece of it was the encouragement to leave our phone off, and I chose to leave it in the room. So just being able to be totally disconnected, not even having that feeling of the phone in your pocket, it just gave me that realization of how attached we are to our phones. The music was powerful. Bob, Sima, and Shannon listen to their music a lot on a daily basis, actually. But having that integrated with some of the exercises they did, it just kind of made that music even more powerful for me. I really enjoyed the song that was sort of curated specifically for that area, Holy Green Tree, and how it got tied into our experience, and actually getting to visit with the tree that inspired the song. So that was beautiful.
I gained so many tools through the experiences and exercises that I'm able to use in my day-to-day life, even still now, that are helping me to achieve the life that I'm wanting to live. Ocon was this level of peace that I've never experienced before in my life, and I hope that I never forget what that feels like. The music added an element of just a deeper connection with the experiences and a deeper level of healing through everything. It was the words, it was the setup for going deeper into what they were setting you up for.
On the inside, 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 inside. On the inside, 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 inside. Now this is where it's not just a song. It's going to be who you are. When you walk onto that plane, when you go through customs, when you get back in your car, when you get back to Albany and Frederick, Maryland, and Myrtle Beach, and Seattle, and Philadelphia, Florida.
Chichen Itza was very humbling to be there during the spring equinox and to have Tony, who's the best history teacher I've ever had, give us so much knowledge over all of the things that were there. It wasn't just a pyramid, it was a whole village and a whole community that we got to learn so much about. I would say it's probably slowing down. I really, that's something I wanted to achieve going on this retreat, was learning how to slow down, and I think that I gained tools to know how to do that.
But the last 3 days have been good. I've just not like sprung out of bed at the last minute, and I've just shut off the alarms, stretched some, and just kind of been silent and not rushed into the day. When it's time for you to express your grief or cry or whatever, it'll happen. And I've intellectually been telling myself that for years. I didn't expect it. I didn't okay, it's the last day, it just, the measure of that song hit me. So that's what did it. And I cried about my mom. So, yeah.
It is so interesting how the sounds grow, as, we were talking about in the jungle. You hear them from the path, far away, and then they get closer and louder, and same thing here. So I've been much more peaceful, and that has brought me peace and joy. I just appreciate every single one of you, because you have allowed me to be vulnerable, and that will allow me to be more connected to people.
My gratitude this week has just been overflowing, and that's been really good. I also came back feeling extremely connected to myself, and that's what I wanted. I just wanted that deep connection to myself, and I think just our environment also is very helpful with that. I loved it. I played a lot of the music because I downloaded some of the music, and so that's really been enjoyable to me and takes me back. I have lots of really sweet memories in my heart, in my body, so thank you very much. I would call it peaceful exuberance, because I just felt bubbly in a really good way.
I have felt very present, very mindful. I haven't been thinking about the past or wondering what's going to happen, in the future. So I think that's been a very good thing. I felt very centered and happy for the most part, and calm and peaceful. So that's what I was looking for. That's what I was hoping for. And I felt very connected to everybody. I think that was a wonderful gift to be able to say that.
I wanted to find a little bit of peace and to be a little bit more present and not so consumed with everything else that's going on in our lives. So when we came back, I didn't fall into the whole loop that I'm so often falling into. Like, I was able to say to myself, okay, well, you have your action steps. Let's do those. And I did find a little bit of that peace. He's like, I saw a little bit of that twinkle come back. I saw it too today. And I was like, oh, okay, I can do this. I'm like suddenly so much more in tune to what is going on in the world around me. I'm forever grateful because the whole experience has done wonders for me.
Yeah, I just find myself like not interested in those things that just are mind numbing. I picked up my phone and I'm just like, and put it down. I'm like, I'm not interested in checking Facebook. I wasn't interested in turning on the TV. Diet's been different as well. Like, I'm not craving sweets as much. Been either driving home in silence or coming home and sitting upstairs in silence for a couple minutes when I get home.
I know recovery has a very heavy spiritual aspect to it, but this opened the door to a much bigger possibility of where that can go. Like, it's not just in the rooms of recovery, that there's so much more on spiritual growth and protection, and that I'm really looking forward to exploring that. And I was really sad about leaving everybody and just having that level of connection. I know a lot of people and there's a lot of work in recovery, but connecting with people's different. And getting a spiritual connection like that, like on such a real level, meant a lot to me.
My thing that I wanted was to share my light. Just noticed that when I go places and I see people, I've been smiling a lot more and saying hi to people. So I've been still and quiet for the since we've been back, and that's been good. I feel like it's made a difference.
And I went in the bathroom and I cried in the bathroom like you guys taught me to do. And it was really, really cool, because what was cool about it was then I felt better. Being at the retreat, it was being in that community, being surrounded in love and a loving energy was huge, because I really have been disconnected from all of that. I just wanted to say, from a travel perspective, that is a resort. It's a spa resort, and it is just phenomenal.
But once I got on the plane, I took out my journal and thoughts just started coming to me and my plan of action. I'm grateful that it was time to just tune into your heart, into ourselves, and see how we can grow. I just want to say that, I said I was going to give up news, and I did. I'm so proud of myself. Just want to follow through on the changes that I want to make, so that I can just be more present in everyone's life around me.
Thank you for the gift of 1 hour of conscious boredom. Oh my God, that has been the highlight of my life. I found my tribe. Definitely more spiritually aware, and definitely mentally clear. Finally figuring out who I am, right? Always trying to use other people's words to figure out where I want to be. But now they don't ring true, Now I'm very confident about who I am. I'm just very grateful for that clarity and the calmness and the ability to not even stress about it,
What really surprised me traveling home the whole thing, and I wrote it. It was so much easier and it's so much grace and ease through the whole thing. And I laugh because I just get in my head, on things that I haven't done. So I loved the experience, and I felt like a grown-up. I wanted to be quiet. That's what I said this, when I was there with you guys. I'm so much better in my mind and in my spirit when I'm quieter, when I'm slower. I'm gonna own this because it's the truth. I was able to model how I want my people to be to their customers.
Shannon, I have to tell you, when we got on the van and we were driving away, we turned around and we saw you and Bob stick your tongues out to each other and then just fall into each other's arms. And we were all like, oh, we wish we'd have got that on video. It was classic.
When we went up to the office and talked to kind of resolve everything and stuff, the staff were elated. He just said, you are all good people. You're just good people. And we just so appreciate everything that you brought and everything that you left.
If you want to go fast, then go alone. If you want to go far, you better bring somebody else along. In the moment of darkness, in the moment of truth, you'll think you're lucky stars that there's someone there with you. There's a beauty in numbers, it's impossible to deny. It takes two hands to applaud.